Alright, so this is a video response to a message I just received. He's talking about, you know, what do I think? Sharing my thoughts on intimidation. He's saying people are intimidated by him, because he's a black person living in America, and they're intimidated by him because he's in shape and things like that. And he doesn't like that. And I have some thoughts to share about that. You know, it's, I think it's tough either way, because you could be treated very disrespectfully where people aren't intimidated by you whatsoever and they just outright disrespect you, just bully you. Okay, so say I'm a Chinese man and people are picking on me because I'm Chinese and they start making fun of me, laughing at me and throwing food at me, spitting on me, pushing me, bullying me, just trying to fight me, punching me, and just completely disrespecting me. So there's that spectrum, and then there's the other spectrum where this guy's talking about where they're just intimidated, just kind of, what the media portrays, black males are, in and out of jail, selling drugs, committing crime, and, all this media that's portraying all this, and then people get intimidated, just like the movie Crash, Ludacris, walking, and then they're walking away from him and looking at him and just getting scared, and then they see them walking and they click the lock button on the door. So there's that sort of intimidation where they're frightened. There's people out there, they don't necessarily have to be racist, but just people out there that are frightened by black people or just people of color. They're intimidated. So which one's better? If you had to choose between, people being afraid of you, or choose between somebody, people that aren't afraid of you at all, but they're just outright disrespecting you, bullying you. They're not intimidated from you, so they steal from you. So that's the opposite, and I'm the Chinese guy who usually gets treated this way. Now, if I was black, then I might get treated that way. And which one is better? It's sad that we'd even have to choose. We should just be respected, and people shouldn't be afraid of us. And maybe that's the way the Caucasian feels, just balanced in America. People aren't afraid of him, but yet they respect him. But the black person might have to deal with people being afraid of him and afraid to disrespect them. Chinese person has to deal with, being bullied, laughed at. So which one is better? So people aren't afraid of you, then they could steal from you. People are afraid of you, they don't want to steal from you because they're going to be afraid that you're going to hurt them. I mean, honestly, being Chinese, living in America, as an American, being born in America, but the way that I look is Chinese, I would rather have people be intimidated by me than to treat me like dirt. You know what I mean? Like, it just comes with the game, especially you train in martial arts, you work out a lot, and say you don't smile that much, immediately people are going to be intimidated because, they might feel insecure, inadequate when they see you, and they see strength, they see power, and they get intimidated. Just think about, okay, let's bring it to the animal kingdom, would you rather be something that's not intimidating at all, like something like a deer or something, or like a lion. Like a lion, people are scared of lions because lions kill, They have a lot of respect. Lions are seen as the king of the jungle. But the bunny is not the king of the jungle, or, you know, um, the deer or sheep. Let's say sheep. The sheep is even less threatening than even the deer. So the sheep or a lion. Sheep, they're not king of the jungle. People, or let's say the cow. The cow, they slaughter the cows. Would you rather be slaughtered as a cow, or would you rather be the lion that doesn't get slaughtered? I mean, he's just powerful. So I think you could look at it in a different way. You don't need to be looking at it as a negative thing when people are intimidated by you. I think when people are intimidated, it's almost like a sign of respect. They even have the saying. There's that one movie, A Bronx Tale, that talks about it. I think it was Machiavelli that mentioned it. Tupac mentioned it. It's like, what's stronger, love or fear? Obviously, we gravitate towards love. That's what we should be gravitated towards. But fear is very powerful. It's very powerful. So people that are in power, they know to get people in fear in order to control them. So if you've been given the gift of having an intimidating presence, you could use that to your advantage. And when people are intimidated by you, it's like I said, it's pretty much like they respect you. It's like, just think about the workforce. You're gonna be intimidated. A lot of people will be intimidated by when the CEO steps in. And the CEO of the company steps in, people get intimidated because they could all lose their jobs at any time. So they're really careful what they say. They always make sure that they greet him, and they change when they're around him because they don't want to get fired. So think about the CEO, where people are intimidated by him, and then think about the janitor, the cleaner of the thing. People look down at him, laugh at him, make fun of him, spit at him, disrespect him. Oh, he's just a cleaning guy. He ain't nobody. If you had to choose either or, I'd rather be the person that's in power, the person that intimidates other people. Because that, puts you in a position where, you're not being taken advantage and bullied by other people. But people are afraid of you. Yes, we want to be to the point where people don't fear us, but yet they respect us. We all want to be there. I want to be there. But to get there, it's not easy. But I feel that if a person's intimidated by you, it'll be easier to get them to not fear you than it would be to be somebody who people disrespect and just outright mistreat you to get them to respect you and treat you better. Because all it takes, if people intimidate you, or if people are intimidated by you, all it takes is for you to smile more, talk more, laugh more, and then lighten up, and then they could start to get to see the softer sides of you, and then they could start to have less fear around you. That's all it takes. But if people just outright disrespect you and they, don't even see you as their equal, and they mistreat you and they bully you, it takes a lot of work to get them to respect you. Because you could be somebody that's super skinny, not strong at all, and you're just a weak person. You might have to train for 5, 10, 15 years to get strong and big and muscular, learn how to fight, and then now they might start respecting you finally, maybe. You're overweight and people making fun of you because you're overweight. It might take years to lose that weight for them to finally treat you differently, treat you with more respect. But if you're already in shape, you're in a position of power, you're the president of a company, you could fight, you could do, you have a lot of money, like you're a powerful person, people will be intimidated by you. So all it takes is just some time for them to get to know the softer sides of you, the humbleness within you. You're smiling, you're laughing, you're joking. Then they could start feeling, hey, there's nothing to be afraid of. This person's, he's not gonna hurt me. So I don't think you should view it in a negative way. I think that usually we're going to start off in one spectrum or the other. As a minority, you usually will start off in one spectrum or another. I would rather start off with people being intimidated by me than for people to bully me. And then work my way towards having just respect, equality, equal treatment, and no fear. That's coming from my standpoint, being a part of that group that has been mistreated for so long and still is being mistreated. Look at what's going on in this culture. Look at what's going on in Hollywood. Look at what's going on in media. The way that they're treating Asian people. They got this TV show called Fresh Off the Boat, starring an Asian cast. They have movies like Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3, where they're outrightly disrespecting the Chinese people. You have the Oscars that just passed, where Chris Rock, a black person, is making fun of Chinese people on stage, or Asian people on stage, in front of a whole white audience. So, yes, we all want to be a part of that white audience that's respected. But then there's that one black person that's organizing the whole show, who's all the white people are watching. And then there's the Asian people that are being all laughed at. So which one would you rather be? Would you rather be the black person or the Asian people? The Asian people being laughed at, or the black person on stage, everybody's respecting and admiring? Which one would you rather be? I'd rather be Chris Rock than the 3 Asian people being laughed at. Of course, we all want to be a part of the white audience that's respected, honored, cherished. And the blacks were complaining about that, how come there's not even one person of color being nominated to be in the Oscars or whatever. Well, the Asian people, that's not even an option to even be in Hollywood. We're still trying to even get in Hollywood. And then if we do get in Hollywood, we're not being respected, we're being laughed at. So, I think blacks have it hard. Of course they do. But I think when it comes to racism, I think Asians suffer a lot of racism that goes unrecognized. And I'd much rather be in the position where more support of my people, even though we're looked at a certain way. But as black people come together and work together towards greater change, I'd rather be in that position with support, even though some of the people look at them to be intimidating. They're still at a position where it's a powerful position to be in to work towards greater change. But Chinese people and Asian people in general in America, they're not in the capacity to even be in a position where they could make any changes towards making things better for their people. It's lack of support, lack of passion. They just put up with it. Put up with the racism, the abuse, the disrespect. Or they're just so involved in their own little communities and their own people that they just shut it out. And even though I'm not black myself, because I'm just more serious in nature and I was born more serious, people always mention to me that they get intimidated by me or they were intimidated by me. That's fine, and then they get to know me and they know that I'm a nice guy. There's nothing to be intimidated about. But I feel through my experiences that intimidation is not necessarily a bad thing. It's almost an indication of fear, an indication of respect. And there's a lot of places you could go with that. You could reinforce it and make it stronger, or you could bring them towards more feelings of love and acceptance and real respect, not out of fear but out of love. Respect out of love opposed to respect out of fear. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I really don't. If you really want to make a change to make your specific situation better, just learn to smile more. Learn to engage in activities that aren't so manly. Engage in activities that are a little bit more gentle and soft. Connect with women more in their network of people, so you could balance yourself out. Maybe you got too much masculine energy in you that you need to balance it out with something softer, gentle, so then you're more balanced. So then there's different sides to you. You're not just one-sided. And but I deal with that too. There's people out there that are intimidated by me. But sometimes I question, take a step back, look at me. I'm a small person. I'm only 5'5". I only weigh 150 pounds. What is it to be intimidated by? But that's my feedback. We all have the ability to kind of work with the energy that we put out to this world. Even the way you dress, you could change up your style to have more of an accepting energy when people meet you. Smile is a big one. Smiling, how you dress, how you talk is a big one. And if you talk very slang, very hip-hop, very street, then that could be more intimidating too. If you swear a lot, that could be more intimidating. So just observe the energies that you're putting out there and try to work with that energy to get the feedback that you want from the people around you. That's what I recommend.